Welcome everybody to Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. Second time in a row. We got Heel Kev back. Wheezy and Santi are somewhere else right now. But Kev, we got a good one today.
Hey, second time in a row. You know what they say. You do it more than twice, you're playing with it. So it is what it is. But, no, we got a great video. And the thing is, man, when you love what you do and we have an awesome community like we have, this gets addicting. So I don't know about you, but like if I'm not recording content, I'm editing content. If I'm not editing, I'm either wanting to be editing or wanting to be recording. We love bringing you guys content, and your guys' interaction means the absolute world to us. So again, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. But most of all, guys, hit that bell to get a notification every time we post a new video. And if there's stuff you're commenting in the section for us to do, the best way you're going to know when we make your video, get those notifications.
All right, guys. So today, Kevin and I are coming in with another top 5, and this is the top 5 wrestlers to never have won the WWE title. Now, Kev has his 5. I have my 5. We might overlap. We might not. But I'm going to kick this one off, and I'm going to kick it off hot with probably, arguably, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time in the bad guy, Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, one of the pillars to either starting the Attitude Era or the Monday Night Wars. It doesn't really matter which way you look at it, it was still the Attitude Era. But this man was clinical in the ring. His character development skills and able to adapt to anything was so good. Like, unfortunately, like later in his life, everyone remembers like the bad things, but you got to look at all the good he produced for the business. And it is a crying shame that this man never got to hold the WWE title.
No, absolutely. And when you think of Scott Hall / Razor Ramon, you know, you think about some of the best transitions in pro wrestling. You had Ric Flair become the Nature Boy. Mm-hmm. You had Stardust, Cody Rhodes, become Cody Rhodes. You had Scott Hall become Razor.
Yeah.
And I mean, amongst one of the best transitions, everything the Undertakers did from the Dead Man to the American Badass, he's up there with the best of them. And as far as promos go, say what you want about his in-ring talent. Yeah. I think he was one of the better ones. Fun fact, the Razor's Edge was one of the most protected finishers in all of professional wrestling, because if he wasn't going to win, he didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
He protected it, which I absolutely love. But his mic work, oh God, I mean, you put that up there with anybody's.
It was the confidence.
Yeah. Like you could walk outside, look up, see the sky's blue. He would tell you it's purple, and he'd defend that with confidence to his dying breath. Yep. It was amazing. I think it's a phenomenal pick. I completely agree. And honestly, had it not have been for the curtain call, I think we would have seen it. Yeah. But this is not a list of what ifs. It's a list of who hasn't that should have. Yeah. And I think he's definitely list worthy.
All right. What's your first one, buddy?
So I had one, and I changed it as you were doing the intro because I started thinking about it. And I was going to go with Elias. And I just want to go and say, there was a time, hear me out. There was a time where Elias couldn't be more over unless he was standing on the moon. Yeah. You pair that with a Money in the Bank winning or even a cash in.
You got Dolph Ziggler.
You have a pop to rival Dolph Ziggler. Yep. But that was at one time in his career. So I'm going to switch it to somebody who I think was good the entire time. They're not in ring with WWE anymore, but still with WWE. Give me Wade Barrett.
Good pick.
I think Wade Barrett would have been a phenomenal champion, from the Nexus to the Core to I've got some bad news. I love that was a horrible impression.
That was really bad.
Wade Barrett, if you ever see this, I do apologize. Big fan, by the way. But yeah, give me Wade Barrett. I think he would have been an incredible champion, especially during that time where he was feuding with Randy. Yeah. I think that would have been a great great series back and forth.
There's nothing else I can say on Wade Barrett except for he was a clinical talent, and I love the old school British style wrestlers, and he brought all of that. I saw a lot of William Regal in him as he performed, and I think he just hit harder, but a lot of people argue William Regal probably hits harder than anyone. But yeah, definitely one of the guys that definitely deserved his flowers, and at least we can give them to him here, but he definitely deserved to hold that title.
Absolutely.
Kev, I'm saying this one with a massive asterisk because I do believe he won the world title. I witnessed it. It's all over the internet, but still WWE does not WWE does not acknowledge this. Everybody in the comments knows where I'm going with this, and I'm going with Owen Hart. Owen Hart, in my opinion, is the best to ever come out of the Hart Dungeon. Hands down. On the mic, he was stupidly underrated. Like, what white guy can get away with getting into an all African American faction and putting himself over in an African American faction, that being the Nation? A lot of people forget Owen Hart was part of the Nation of Domination, but Owen was able to just mold, like we talked about the other day with Mariah May and Be Water.
Being water.
Owen Hart had the ability to mold to anything. And the fact that they didn't give him the WWE title when he won it against Brett and pinned him clean on television makes no sense to me. So Owen Hart is definitely, he should have been my first pick, but I just had to say Scott Hall because first Scott Hall. But no, Owen Hart, goddamn.
I think you said, exactly what needs to be said. I'll go and throw two things out there. Really quick. I was going to say this earlier, but I kind of figured this is where you were going. I didn't want to cut you off. Owen Hart is the best Hart.
Yep.
My opinion, Owen Hart's the best Hart. And we talk about, being water. If being water is a compliment, Owen Hart is a goddamn ocean. And I know we're talking about WWE right now, but I want to go and give credit to AEW in respects to Owen Hart. What they have been able to do with continuing his legacy, making sure he's never forgotten, introducing this new generation with the action figures, with the video game, with the tournament that they do. They hear the Owen Hart Cup and they're like, well, who is Owen Hart? Now they're looking him up, watching his matches. So huge shout out to them. I say they do a lot of things wrong, but that is one thing that I believe they've done right. Kudos to them for that.
Hell yeah.
Moving on to the list. So I said Wade Barrett, another guy who finds himself in AEW right now. The fact that Cesaro was not made champion during the Cesaro section era will never make sense to me.
No.
You could have done it straight up. You could have done it with Money in the Bank. You could have done it with the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber. Any way you write him into the story made sense at that time. I thought he was absolutely incredible. Loved it. Showed out when he faced Roman. Cesaro as world champion is something we all desperately needed and never got. Yeah,
it's one of those ones I really think that was the icing on the cake for him leaving as well. I think them not realizing that the Cesaro section build was literally white hot money for them to take, and WWE just completely brushed it off like nothing because he's not amazing on the mic. Think about the amount of people that they have put as champion that weren't
Paul Heyman.
Exactly. Anyways, all right, Kev, on to my third one. I'm gonna stick with the 90s and another one who we lost way too soon, and I'm going with the British Bulldog. Dude, like that whole Hart Foundation feud that we had right before he passed, there was something there. The pop he got for winning the IC title off of Brett in Wembley in '92, the overall, he was a world champion guy. If you drew out what a guy looked like that Vince wants to put the title on, it's a big dude, big muscles, clean shaven, and willing to work. And that's what British Bulldog did. Again, a guy that wasn't amazing on the mic, but he had everything else. He had the in-ring ability for the time. He could go with Brett, and Brett made him look great. Owen made him look great. Anvil made him look great. I believe there was even a small feud with an up-and-coming Rocky Maivia at one point. So, like, there was all of that build. He was world champion material left, right, and center. I just don't understand why it wasn't even thought about.
Yeah, it's when you hear these stories about, Vince McMahon wanted these big body guys. He had them.
Yep.
He had them in spades.
Yep.
Like, look, man, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I think it's funny when somebody's not great on the mic, they make it work for who they want it to work for.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roman, who wasn't good on the mic, put him with Paul Heyman. Now he is.
Yes.
That's one example of people that aren't really good on the mic, but you put him with somebody. The Undertaker, at a time where he didn't talk, had Paul Bear.
Yeah.
So I just think it's funny how they can make it work for some, but not all. And Bulldog should have been one of them.
Yeah. All right, buddy. What do you got?
You went into the 90s, you plucked into my childhood, so now I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to go with the wrestler's wrestler, a real bad guy, a guy who protected the business every chance he could. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
All the way at WrestleMania 3, where he dang near killed Goldust by running him over with a car. Give me Roddy Piper.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Rowdy Piper was to that generation what MJF is to us.
Yep.
And I'm not saying they're the same. I'm not saying they're on the same level. I'm saying if you break it down by eras, by generations, we now have MJF. Back then we had Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
And Roddy Piper, you didn't mess with him.
No. Like the man genuine.
He had people showing up to his house. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
He had people waiting at the end of his driveway. Teal Piper, his daughter, did an interview where she said, I would look out the window. There'd be 3 or 4 cars at the end of our driveway just waiting for my dad to leave.
Yeah.
That's heat.
That's
heat, brother.
That's heat. That man broke a coconut over Jimmy Snuka. And that was not a fake coconut. That was a real coconut. So goddamn. But yeah, no, there's nothing else to say. Just that man was the embodiment of what the business needed to be. I think I remember watching an interview.
When he dropped his pants?
Yeah, that's when he dropped his pants. Says, tell me it's fake.
It was him, Bret Hart, and somebody else.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't see any bruises.
Yeah.
Roddy said, hold my beer, watch it.
Yeah.
Drops his pants. Hip replacement. You see that bruise?
Yeah.
You see that bruise?
Yeah.
There's your proof.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Roddy Piper is one of the, it's kind of funny. Everyone we've named is pretty much dead. So that's the tough one. But yeah, he was a protector of the business and definitely should have been a world champion. All right.
Who you next?
I'm going to go a different way right now. I'm going with a guy that everyone would just always look at as kind of a jobber, the guy to make everyone else look good. But at the end of the day, what this man was in the ring and what his character development was through the 90s and early 2000s, Farouk, aka Ron Simmons, yes, he won the WCW world title. Mm-hmm. Awesome. But still, it's not the WWF/WWE.
African American world champion. Give it up for Ron Simmons, but yes, not the WWE champion.
Not the WWE champion. Ron Simmons, his work with the Nation, I think that's where he needed the world title. I really do, because that Nation storyline got so much heat. Like that's a bloodline storyline with what they had then, but it just wouldn't have gotten over as well as the bloodline, but because it was a very touchy time in the world. But I'll say this right now, Ron Simmons as the WWE champion during the Nation, whoo, buddy, that would have been a good TV.
I mean, I don't know about you, man, but even to this day, when I hear somebody say something stupid, or I hear somebody get their words mixed up on Raw,
yeah,
I'm expecting that camera to slowly pan to the left.
Yeah.
To this disgruntled, grizzled man staring down, then you wait for it.
Yeah.
You wait for it. And then, damn.
Yep.
I live for that. I love it so much. I completely agree, man. I am happy. I do want to give him his flowers. I am happy that he did win a world title, but he should have been WWE or WWF world champion. Completely agree.
Yeah, 100%. And the last thing I'll say on him is I think JBL has come out and said out of anyone he's ever wrestled or like tied up with, Ron Simmons hits the hardest.
Yeah.
So, all
That's
right.
something coming from the clothesline from hell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, buddy, what do you got?
I'm gonna stick with the older generation. This is somebody we spent a lot of time talking about people who weren't necessarily the best on the microphone.
Mm.
Now I want to talk about one of the goats. I want to talk about one of the greatest. I want to talk about somebody who was able to manipulate your emotion doing very little.
Mm.
Somebody who came from a troubled background, his family was in the business, and his story never quite got done being told. Every time you thought you saw everything there was to see about this person, there were more layers, and you realized how dynamic this character truly was through his struggles with addiction, through his struggles with recovery, through his amazing career. Not only did he not become WWE champion, never held a championship in WWE, period.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Hell yeah. Man was like a walking gimmick, but he was his own gimmick, and he was a great performer. First thing, obviously, that comes to anyone's mind is Savage and the Snake. But like, if you go back look at his body of work, goddamn, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for all the wrestling fans in the chat, a lot of you may know this. Steve, Jake was the first one to answer this question for us. Do you know what DDT stands for?
No.
The end.
Really?
It's a quote from Jake the Snake. They asked him, what does DDT stand for? The end. It's back in the time where moves like the DDT were protected, but that's another conversation for another day.
Cool, man.
But, yeah. What did you say? Short fall, devastating, or hard landing?
Damn.
Something like that. Jake was incredible.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, there's not much else to say, man. He's one of the best, and he deserved a hell of a lot better, that's for sure. All right, and my final one, and I'm just gonna go with what we're currently seeing, and the Samoan dynasty being one of the greatest families to ever perform in professional wrestling. It is a absolute shame, considering the writing that they had to make this man a world champion at the certain time, and that being Rikishi. How is Rikishi never been WWE champion?
We were going Jey Uso there for a second, but hey, I agree.
No.
I'm sitting here nodding like, hey, story was great. He was in a great match. Awesome time. Should have pulled the trigger. Jey Uso, Rikishi.
No.
Hey, I'm not arguing it. You got me out of left field right there. No, I agree. I mean, for Christ's sake, he did it
for The Rock. Exactly. There's
I loved Rikishi, and he's great. He's absolutely great. He fit that comedy role.
Yep.
He fit that big guy role. He fit that enforcer role.
Yep.
I mean, he was as dynamic as a guy his size could be.
Yep.
And I mean, which one of us didn't, as a kid, turn the lights down low and just start doing the drinks, you know what I mean?
It's kind of funny. I had the little knob to do the sensor for my lights so I could turn them down just low enough. But yeah, no, with that storyline.
Like, why are you wearing those glasses inside? So I'm doing it for The Rock.
Doing it for The Rock. All right, Kev, and what is your final one? I think I know.
I think you do.
I think I know.
I don't think this is going to come to a surprise to anybody. Special shout out to Dusty Rhodes.
Wait, what?
I think he deserves to be on the list.
I thought you were about to do Dusty Rhodes.
No. Look. I think Dusty should be on this list. Dusty is tied for my all-time favorite wrestler. Stands next to Edge on the top of my wrestling pyramid. But this man is doing everything right.
Yeah.
Because when the crowd is here, about to blow, waiting on him to start the show, down the curtain lines go up, I'm home. Whoa! Give me Cody Rhodes. Give me Cody Rhodes. I know I messed up the lyrics, guys. Please forgive me. I was getting excited. I was trying to remember them in my head, but I was trying to get you to the whoa. We got there.
Yeah.
But, hey,
teach this man the lyrics. God damn it. No.
Cody's career isn't done.
No.
It's not over. So, you know what? I am going to keep Dusty on because Dusty's career is obviously over. He should have been champion, damn it. One of the most believable wrestlers. And I was just talking about this. Cody deserves to be on here too, but his career's not done. And we all know he's going to get it. But Dusty's time has come and gone, obviously. Dusty had this ability. and I was just saying this on another podcast. He had what Dusty had better than anyone is he had the ability to make you, the viewer at home, not the ones live, not the referee, not the timekeeper, but you watching at home. He had this ability to make you feel like you were a part of the match, like you had a part to play, and he couldn't win without you because his hand was reaching out to your hand, and just he just had that way to make it so relatable and draw you in. I love Cody. I want to say Cody, but I got to show respect to the OG Dusty Rhodes.
So you're just going to completely forget about Dustin? You're going to throw in him in there as well?
I think Dustin Rhodes. Oh, don't come at me in the comments.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Dustin, although deserving, least deserving of the 3 Rhodes.
I was just going to say, I just look back at him when he had Terry in all that gold when she was smoking her cigar, just cutting some of those vignette promos and just having the WWE title sitting right there, all that gold. Oh, dude, that would have been just like chef's kiss. So, no. But yes, you're right. Dusty, Cody, and then Dustin. But yeah, we got the Rhodes family in there, dude.
Yeah, all roads should lead to the championship.
All right, guys, let us know in the comments who we missed. Who did you think should have been deservingly said first, second, or third on this list? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and put the bell on for all notifications that are Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. I am Mr. Tesh. This is Heel Kev. Like always, be good people.
Take it easy, guys.